Hello students, I hope you all are doing good at home. Today we are going to start with chapter 5, that is organizing. Let us begin. Students, before we start the chapter, see, you very well remember as we studied in the first chapter there are total 5 functions of management, means there are total 5 functions which a manager has to perform. Yes, what is the first function? Planning, right? Planning. About planning we have studied in our previous chapter. Now the next function which a manager does is organizing, right? There are in total 5 functions. What are they? Planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. Okay, planning, we have studied about planning in our previous chapter. Now we will study about the second functions of the management or the second functions of the manager. What is the second function? Organizing. Okay, now let us understand what does it mean. See students, what does the word organizing means? See, in general word or in very simple language, if I'll try to make you understand, then organizing means what? Organizing means to arrange everything in order. To arrange everything in order. This is the second function of the manager. The first function is the manager plans for the activity, make the planning. Now, according to the plan, he will arrange everything in order. Let us understand it with the help of this point. What is organizing? Organizing is the process of identifying and grouping of different activities in the organization and bringing together the physical, financial, and human resources for the achievement of specific goal of organization. What is organizing? Or what is the function of organizing? What does organizing means? Organizing means here the manager performs this function. Okay, so what is the work of the manager? The work of the manager is to identify and group different activities. Means in organization there are different activities. Okay, the manager carries out number of activities. Okay, so managers have to identify what all activities they have to perform. First they have to identify what all activities they are going to perform. After identifying the activities, what they will do, they will group them all together. Okay, the activities which are of same type, they will group together in one group. Okay, they will make a group. Now in the organization and bringing together the physical, financial and human resources. Now it is the duty of the manager to arrange all the physical, financial and human resources. What is the physical resources? Generally your machineries, assets, right? Financial resources, money, capital. Human resources, the employees or your personnel. So the managers have to arrange all these resources. Okay, so what is the work of the manager here? The work of the manager is to organize things. How he or she will be organized? See, organize means first we'll identify what all activities are there in the organization, and then the activities which are of same type, he will group them together. Okay, now after grouping them, as he identified the activities, means what all activities has to be performed, first he has identified. Okay, after identifying the activities, he has to what? He has to arrange the resources, right, to carry out those activities. So he will arrange the resources. Now he will arrange your physical resource, your financial resource and your human resource. He will arrange the machineries, he will arrange the capital and money, and he will arrange the employees to carry out the activities which he has grouped. And what is the main reason for doing this? The main reason is to achieve the organizational goal. Okay, the main function of organizing is to achieve the organizational goal. By identifying the activities and grouping them all together and to carry out the activities, the manager arranges different resources, and the main motive is to what? To achieve the organizational goal, right? See, let us understand the meaning of organizing with the help of example. See, suppose students, your school plans to conduct a sports day or annual function, right? You might have See in this, your schools plan to conduct sports day or annual function. All the teachers and the students are assigned different duties. Okay, all the teachers and the students are given different duties. Okay, various resources are arranged. Okay, financial resources are arranged, physical resources are arranged, like your table, chairs, etc. Okay, and a coordinator is appointed. Okay, a head is appointed to coordinate everything. Okay, whom you give all the reports. Okay, so this whole arrangement is called organizing. Organizing means to arrange the task. Like what? See, the school has planned. In the first step we have studied, no, the first function of manager is to do planning. Okay, so the school here has planned to conduct sports day or annual function, right? So planning is done. Now we come to organizing. Now to carry out those plan, what is the next step? Organizing. So in organizing, what is done? In organizing, all the teachers and students are given the duties. Okay, first of all we will identify the activities, what all activities are required to perform, and we will give them the duties. And to carry out those duties or to carry out those activities, all the resources will be arranged. Okay, and then one head will be selected to whom everybody is going to report. This all thing is organizing, right? In the same way, in the organization also, the manager what identifies the activity, that what all things has to be done. Okay, he assigns different employees to different duties, and then he arranges various resources to carry out the work so that the organization can achieve its goal. Understood? Now, moving to the next, that is organizing process. See, there are 4 steps of organizing. First is identification and division of work. Next is departmentation, then assignment of duties, and then establishing reporting relationship. You can memorize the organizing process with the help of this acronym, that is IDEA. Okay, I for identification, D for departmentation, E for establishing reporting relationship, and A for assignment of duty. Okay, so and remember, you have to write all this thing in the sequence because it is a process. Okay, so you have to go as per sequence. So the first step of organizing is what? Identification and division of work. Let us understand this. See, the first step of organizing is identification and division of work. As I told you in the previous chapter, we have studied about planning. Okay, so the first function of management is to do planning, means he plans out the activity. Okay, so that part is done. Okay, he has completed the planning work. Now we will move to the next function, that is organizing. After the planning, what the managers have to do, they have to identify the activities which they have to perform and who is going to perform the activities. Okay, the employees or etc. Let us see. At this step, the total work is divided into various activities. For example, various activities of a shoe manufacturing company can be purchase of raw material, production, stocking of good, research, advertisement, sales, etc. See students, for example, if a like if a business is manufacturing shoe, okay, so what is their activity? Their activity is to purchase the raw material to make the shoe, then their activity is to produce the raw material, and their activity is to stock the good, means keep the good in the stocks. Okay, their activity is to research about the what? Research about the market and do the advertisement of the product and sell the product. So these are the activities. So managers have to do what? The managers have to identify that these activities are to be performed, and then he divides the work into small group to everyone, right? So this is what identification of work means. They have to identify what all activities they have to perform. Now, after identifying the activities, as I told you, what they do? Departmentation. Now, what does this mean? The activities of the same nature are grouped together. As I told you in the definition also, means the manager has to perform different activities. So the activities which are of same type, okay, they group together. Okay. See, for example, I'll tell you. For example, advertisement and sale can be given to the marketing department. Okay, like the work of advertisement or the work of sale, which are generally done in the market. Okay, that can be given to the marketing department. Okay, so Next example is to produce the good. Okay, to produce the good, that can be given to the production department. So there are different activities, like we have studied, no, purchase of raw material is an activity, production is an activity. So production, if the company want to do production, if the company want to produce the output, then he will make what, he will give this work to the production department. In the same way, if the company want to do advertisement, then he will, in advertisement, what the company does, they give the advertisement in the market, so the company will give it to the marketing department. So in the same way, all the activities which are of same nature, which are of same type, they are grouped together under one department. That is why it is used the word departmentation. Okay, department are grouped together, one department. All the production work is under production department, all the sales related work is under sales department, all the marketing work is given to the marketing department. Understood? Now the first step was identifying the work, means we have identified what all works we have to do. Next we have grouped all the works in different departments. Okay, advertisement to marketing department, production to production department. Okay, we have given them the group, we have made different departments, right? After this, what is the next? Assignment of duties, means we have done the departmentation, means which we have made the department. Now next step is the, at this stage, the responsibility of each individual or post is decided. For example, the purchase manager will be given the task of purchasing good, the sales manager will be given the work of sales of goods. While assigning duties, it is important to match the nature of work and the capabilities of the person to whom the work is given. See student, assignment of duties means, as we have studied earlier also, we give the duties to the people on the basis of their qualification and on the basis of their capabilities. Okay, on the basis of their qualification, on the basis of their capabilities, the people are given the job, the employees are given the job in the organization. Okay, so here the purchase manager. Okay, the purchase manager, what is the work of purchase manager? His duty is to purchase the good. Sales manager, the sales manager duty is to work on the sales. So here different managers or different heads are given their duties. This is what assignment of duties means, giving the duties to the employees or the managers according to their capabilities or their qualification, right? Now the last is establishing reporting relationship. Reporting relationship means, as I told you, like in annual, like as I gave you the example, if your school is planning to conduct a sports day, then he will arrange the teachers, students, he will arrange the resources, and at last he will arrange a coordinator also, whom the students are going to go and report about all the work done and about the pending work. Okay, everything. So you are going and reporting somebody, right? In the same way, in the organization also, employees report to the superiors about their work, whether they have completed their work or not, whether any pending work is there or not. Okay, so each individual should also know from whom he has to take orders and to whom he is accountable. Means in organization, the individual should know from whom he has to take orders, means from which boss or from superior he has to take the order, and to whom he is to report. Accountable means who, like to whom he is answerable. Okay, means to whom he has to go and give his report, right? It helps in coordination among various departments, and due to this relationship between the superiors and subordinate, there is a coordination in the department. Students, let us quickly review the points. The first step of organization is identification and division of work. It means that the first step is what? To identify the work. Okay, planning is done. Planning is done in the first function. First function was planning, so planning is done. The next function is organizing. So in organizing, what is the first step? Identifying and division of work. Means we have to see and we have to identify what all the activities we have to perform, and we will divide the work into small group. After dividing the work and after identification of the activity, we will make departments. It means that the same type of work are grouped together, like sales work and advertisement work is under marketing department, production work is under production department, sales work is under sales department. So we'll make different departments. Okay, after making different departments, we will assign the duties to them. Okay, For example, as I told you, for the purchase manager will be given the task of purchasing the good, the sales manager will be given the task of selling the good. Okay, so next step is to assign the duties. After assigning the duties, as the superiors have assigned the duties to their subordinate, उन्होंने सबॉर्डिनेट को काम दे दिया, अब सबॉर्डिनेट की क्या रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी बनती है, उस काम को करना और उस काम के बारे में अपने सुपीरियर्स को रिपोर्ट करना. दैट इज़ व्हाट एस्टैब्लिशिंग रिपोर्टिंग रिलेशनशिप मीन्स दे हैव टू डू देयर वर्क एंड दे हैव टू रिपोर्ट टू देयर subordinates, right? So this is the step of organizing. Understood? Now moving to the next point, that is importance of organizing. Why organizing is important, students? Why it is necessary to arrange everything in order? Okay, why it is necessary, why the managers have to perform the organizing functions? Let us see. First is benefit of specialization, second is clarity in working relationship, third is effective administration, fourth is optimum utilization of resources, fifth is adoption to change, sixth is development of personnel, seventh is expansion and growth. See, these are very easy, let us understand. First is benefit of specialization. See, in organizing, every individual is assigned a part of total work and not the whole task. The division of work into smaller unit and repetitive performance lead to specialization. As I told you, students, if one student will do the work again and again, he will become master in that work. Okay, so in organizing also we do what? We divide the work. Okay, we give the work on the basis of the capabilities. We do not give whole work to any single individual. So we divide the work and people do the same work again and again, and due to that they get specialized in their work, they get mastery in their work, right? So it helps in giving specialization, it helps in getting specialization. So organization helps in what? Making specialized personnel. Okay, making them specialized in their work, right? Now the next is clarity in working relationship. As I told you, the superiors will give work to the subordinate and the subordinate will go and report to the superior about their work. So there is a relationship, so the people know whom they are going to report, because in organizing the heads are made. Okay, in production department, production manager is the head, so the workers or the employees who are working in the production department, they will go and report to whom? To the production manager. Similarly, in the sales department, the people of the sales department will go and report to whom? The sales manager. Okay, so in this, the relationship among the superior and the subordinate is clear. They know whom they have to report. Okay, it helps in creating well-defined jobs and also clarifying the limits of authority and responsibility of each job. The superior-subordinate relationship is clearly defined in organizing. Okay, this is the same meaning, means the superior and the subordinate relationship is made, and here the subordinate know to whom they have to report. Okay, about their work. Now, the third is effective administration. What does this mean? It provides a clear description of jobs and related duties which help to avoid confusion and duplication. Clarity in working relationship enables proper execution of the work, which results in effective administration. See, students, as I told you, superiors know who are their subordinate and subordinates know who is their boss or who is their head. Okay, like the production department. So the employees who are working in the production department, they know that their head is the production manager. The people who are working in the sales department, they know that their head is the sales manager. So they know about their superiors, they know about their head. Okay, they know their relationship with the superiors, everything is clear. Okay, so there will be no confusion. Okay, so they know that whatever the works are there, they have to go and report to the superiors, and the superiors are also very clear that whatever the works are there, they are going to give to their own employees. So everybody is clear about their relationship. Okay, and everybody is clear about their power and responsibility. Okay, and everybody is clear to whom to go and report home, right? So there is effective administration. Effective administration means in this way there will be proper working in the organization. There will be no confusion, right? There will be no confusion. That helps to avoid confusion, right? If the works are properly arranged, then there will be no confusion. Everybody know with whom they have to work. Now the next is optimum utilization of resources. Optimum utilization of resources means, students, to make the best use of resources without wasting the resource. That is the meaning of optimum utilization of resource, to make the best use of resources without wasting the resources. See, the proper assignment of jobs avoid overlapping and duplication of work. This helps in preventing confusions and minimizing the wastage of resources. See students, as I told you, in the organizing, the manager arranges all the resources, the manager assigns all the duties to the employees. Okay, so everything has been done. Assignment of jobs, duties have been given, there is no confusion, there is no overlapping of the work, everybody know what they have to do, है ना? Each and every employees know their responsibilities, so there is no confusion. If there is no confusions in if everything is planned in order, so they will carry out their work also in proper way. Okay, and they will use the resources also in proper way. There will be no wastage of the resources because everything is organized properly. Every duties has been given to the employees early. They know what they have to perform, they know how much resources they have to use, so everything is organized in order. So definitely there will be no wastage of the resources, right? Now the next is adoption to change. A properly designed organizational structure is flexible, which facilitates adjustment to changes in workload caused by change in external environment related to the technology, product, resources, and market. Students, see, as I told you, the market condition changes. Okay, our business environment changes. There are many change in technology. Okay, there are many change in the products. There are many change in the resources. There are many change in the market. The demand and the supply keeps on changing. The demand and supply of the consumer keeps on changing. Sometimes the demand, like the preferences and taste are changing, technology is changing, so our external environment is changing. So our business or our organization should be, or our organizational structure should be such that it should be flexible. Means our organization structure or our arrangements should be such that it should be flexible, that whatever the changes are there, we can easily accept and adopt in our organization, right? Now the next is development of personnel. Means we have to develop the personnel, means the employees. Student, one basic thing, how we are going to develop the employees, how we are going to improve their skills, through training. You remember this, okay? We are the only way to develop the employees, or the way to improve their skills and the talents, is by the method of training. Okay, so it is very necessary to give them training and to make them learn about new things. See, sound organization encourages initiative on part of the employees. When managers delegate their authority, it reduces their workload, as they can focus on more important issues related to growth and innovation. This also develops the subordinate ability and helps them to realize his full potential. Students, see, what happens when managers delegate their authority? It means that the manager gives work to their employees. Okay, so here the managers are not going to do every work. Okay, so their load is reduced, their workload is reduced, because half of the job they have given to their employees. Okay, so in this way what happens, the manager distribute their works. Okay, he alone does not do anything, he distribute the works to all his employees. In that way what happens, his own workload is reduced, so that he can focus in the other important matters. Okay, he distribute his work to the employees, and then he focuses in other important matters of the organization. Okay, so in this what happens, when he gives the work to the employees, okay, so employees, he motivate the employees, he encourage the employees to take initiative. Okay, to take the first step, to take the initiative. Okay, to do the work by themselves. The manager motivates the employees to do the work by themselves. he encourages them. So what happens? They start developing their skills and talent. In this way they start growing, because they start learning the things by their own, under the guidance of the manager. They start learning to do the work by their own idea. Okay, so in this way they will develop their skills and talents. Now the last is expansion and growth. Organizing also helps in expansion and growth. How? It helps in growth and diversification of an enterprise by adding more job positions, departments, product line, new geographical territory. See students, if the business want to grow, if the business want to expand, how will it do that? Okay, either he will, like, either the business will add more departments, then it will expand. Either the organization will add new product line, then also it will expand. Either they will go to new area and establish their business, then also they will expand and grow. Okay, so expansion and growth means if everything is done or in an order, proper order, okay, then everything will be carried out in proper way. Okay, and the work will be done in better way. In that way the company or the business will be able to earn more revenues if everything is done in order way. See, if everything is performed in order, everything goes as per the order, means everybody is going to do the task on time, everything has been carried out in order. So there is a chance that they get good profit, because all the tasks are done in proper order, and the business will earn more revenue. And if they get more revenue, if they got more money, then there is a chance to expand and grow their business. Okay, they will add one more product line, means पहले वो 2 प्रोडक्ट में डील करते थे, अब वो 3 प्रोडक्ट में डील करने लगेंगे. Okay, they will expand their business, they will grow their business. Earlier they used to, for example, they used to what, sell their product in suppose Jagdalpur. Now they will expand their product and they will start selling their products to Raipur. Okay, so their area of market is expanding, diversifying. Okay, so in this way they will start growing and expanding their what, business, right? So that is why organizing is very necessary, because it leads to the specialization. The employees become specialized in their work. There is a clarity of relationship, means they know whom they have to report and from whom they have to take the orders. Means employees know means the employees know to whom they have to report and from whom they have to take the orders. There is effective working in the organization. Okay, everything is set in order, there is no confusion, all the works are done in order. There is best use of the resources, because all the resources are orderly arranged. Okay, and there is no confusion, and the jobs are properly given to the the jobs are properly given to the employees. There is no wastage of the resources in an organization. Whatever the changes are, it is adopted. That is why the organization should be such that, or the organizational structure should be such that, it should be such that it is flexible and it should adjust to the change. Okay, and there should be development of personnel, means the manager gives duties and responsibility to the employees so that they learn new things, they take initiative. The manager encourages them to take initiative, the managers motivates them to learn new things. So in this way they start developing their personnel. Okay, the people start getting new ideas, they take new steps, and they learn things by their own work, by doing the work again and again. In this way the personnel will develop themselves. Expansion and growth, slowly and slowly the business will also start growing if everything is done correctly, in an order, in proper order. Okay, everything, the duties are carried out in proper sequence. If every resources are arranged in proper orders, if the resources are arranged in a better way, then definitely the working of the organization will be good, the production will be good, they will earn more revenues, and if they will earn more revenues, more profit, then there is a chance of expansion and growth of the business. They will grow their business. Okay, they will grow the products product line, they will go to new place for new place for to set up their businesses. So in this way they will start growing and developing their business. So these are the main importance, or these are the main significance of the organizing, that why organizing is important, right?